We're on the phone with Tom Mahoney right now. The I guess you could say the chief wiener in charge.
Yeah, that's what I'd say. Yeah,
the Worcester Hot Dog Safari. How do you feel about that? Some people don't like to call them wieners. I don't know if that's an insecurity thing or they feel uncomfortable, but that's basically what they are, right?
Well, I come from it purely from a regional standpoint, where if somebody says wieners, I think Rhode Island. So
right.
That's definitely, it's a distinction I think that needs to be made.
Yes. That's the beautiful thing about hot dogs. Each region of the country kind of has their own thing about it. Their own interpretation of what the hot dog is. There's the Chicago dog with the pickles and all the stuff and the weird Dayglow relish and then like you said, there's like in upstate New York and I think in Rhode Island too, they have those weird red ones.
Well, that's in Maine, like the red snapper in Maine, and then in upstate New York they have like these white hot dogs, these like really strange pale hot dogs that are actually really incredible.
Wow, okay, I got to try that then.
Oh yeah, you might be able to find them at Wegmans, since they're a New York company.
Okay. So this year's Worcester Hot Dog Safari is on August 13th. Now you've changed the format. Now last year you gave out the scorecards. And you had a bunch of different places, and you had a week to kind of do the whole thing. But now you're going back to one day. Is that correct?
That's right. So we're going back to one day. It's some people really like the week format. I really like the week format, but it was a lot for a lot of the hot dog places to stay staffed up through the week, kind of stay on top of their game. So we decided to go back to the one day because it's all that more of a party, you know what I mean? And that's kind of the big aspect of it that draws people is really the party aspect.
And who are the contestants this year?
So this year we always have the returning champ come in. So last year it was Schulte's place down in Sutton.
Okay, now was that the place with the French toast hot dog?
So the French toast hot dog was down at Bert's, which was in
right.
Oxford.
Okay.
Schulte's is really known for their creative hot dogs. Like they had a really great Hawaiian hot dog and a mac and cheese hot dog, and it was like, kind of day enders. You know what I mean? Like you want to take a nap afterwards.
Yes.
So this year we had 3 returning spots and 3 new spots. So we have Schulte's from last year. Then we asked Mama Roo to return. So everybody's really excited about Mama Roo. Everything he does is top notch, and he's going to be set up at the Botanist in Shrewsbury.
Okay.
Then we have Captain Ron, who he was on maybe 2 years ago, and he was great. But the big thing about him is that he's set up at the Reservoir by the Stone Church.
Okay.
Where Bob's used to be set up. There used to be a hot dog truck out there, this guy Bob's, and he was there forever. And unfortunately, he passed away, and now that spot is assumed by Captain Ron. So it's it's a really kind of cool thing if you remember that,
Yeah.
And then we kind of always try to pick a new direction to go. So this year we're heading north. So then we go up to Sterling, and we're going to go to Sticks and Pucks, and then we're going to keep going up to Fitchburg, and we're going to go to a place called Shake and Dog, which is they're really good. I've been there a few times, and they're awesome.
Okay.
And then you go up a little bit farther north into Fitchburg, and we're going to George's Hot Dog Stand, which is like a really classic little hot dog stand. They have a big Polar ginger ale sign out front, like an old one, and like they just have a really classic feel. So, we try to get kind of every type of hot dog you can get in one day,
So the one day format, so you have to, or as someone who's participating, so I'd have to hit all 6 places in one day.
Well, that's up for interpretation. I always want people to go to all the places because I want these places to get as much activity as they can get. But the way that we rank things, I don't want anyone to be intimidated by all those hot dogs in one day. So say you make it to a handful of places. The way I count up all the scorecards, it all averages out. So, I don't want anyone to say, like, well, I can't eat 6 hot dogs. I'm not going to do it. If you hit a few spots and you really want to spend some time in one spot, like, don't rush it. You know what I mean? And it all comes out in the wash. So
I'm sorry. Who can't eat 6 hot dogs? I'm sorry. That's just, it seems amateurish to me, Tom. No offense. I just, but yeah, it's true. It's actually true because I remember the old one day format and you had way more than 6 places. It used to be
there
like
was one year we had like 9. It was a trial and error type situation.
the first time I did it, I was going to every place eating an entire hot dog, and after like the 8th place, and these are like chili dogs. I mean, the places really go all out. You know, they go all out. Some make these amazingly elaborate dogs, and halfway through, I'm like, I don't think I can take this anymore. You know, and then I was watching people around me, and they're like, oh, they bring a group of people, and they kind of cut the dog up, and they all sample it. So that's probably a better way to do it, right?
I always tell people if they get nervous, they should just Lady and Tramp it with their closest friend and just take, eat either side until, until you have a really special moment.
Yeah, that could break the ice with some people. Yeah. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Now, I saw in one of your amazing videos, and if people haven't checked out the hot dog safari videos, they're always incredible. So does there have to be like a photo documentation of you eating the hot dog? Is that right?
No. So now there's a few different facets of the safari. And last year we did a separate event, a hot dog eating contest, and it was great. And this year we weren't able to pull it off. We're going to bring it back next year. But what we've done in the past is that if you are interested in being this year's top dog, a separate trophy, whoever eats the most documented hot dogs in a day, then what you need to do is you need to photograph. You have to eat a hot dog at each place, photograph it, and then if you want to load up on one spot, and the last time we did it, I think it was 18 and a half hot dogs in a day.
Oh my God.
So yeah, you kind of have to, you got to document it. You bring it back, and that year we actually had a tie. So we had the 2 guys sit down at Ralph's and just force their way through as many hot dogs as they could. And it wasn't pretty, but it was, it was the only honest way to give the trophy out.
Right. So everything starts at Ralph's.
Yeah. So, we set up there around 11 o'clock, and, the way we raise money for the safari or for the food bank is to sell T-shirts and hats. Basically you come, you buy your T-shirt and hat if you want, or you pick up your scorecard. And if you don't get a hat or something, it's like, we charge $5 for the food bank. So you start there at 11, you head out, you pick your route, whether you want to go to the farthest one, the closest one, whatever. And then basically you try to make it back. We ask everybody to be back right around like 4 or 5 in the afternoon so that we can tabulate everything, give the trophy out around 6, and, make sure that everybody's kind of, happy with the results.
When everybody comes back to Ralph's, you've got a serious musical guest.
We do.
And
so
this is amazing.
Really excited.
Yeah, this is amazing. Now,
so in my, I've always wanted the safari to like elevate into that cult world of like just cult pop culture. And this year we're really excited because you don't really get much more pop culture than Timmy Capello, he's the sexy sax man from the movie The Lost Boys.
Yes.
And
yes, the original sexy sax man.
Oh, absolutely. And, he used to be the saxophone player for Tina Turner, too.
Right. If you watched hours of MTV back in the day, you would have definitely you would have definitely seen him. He was in like most of her videos and stuff. He's like the huge ripped muscle guy with chains and the long grease back ponytail playing the sax. I mean, the guy's amazing. How did you get him for the hot dog safari?
We work hand in hand with Ralph's for pretty much as long as we've been doing this. So, our friend Ryan McCardle, who's working over at Ralph's now, he's been, and the other guys, they're all been working at getting these new acts to come through. So broadening into these little like, guys who would have been at Rock and Shock. So it just so worked out where we're like, hey, we can get this done. And we're really excited. It's going to really cap that day off in a really strange and exciting way.
That's the best way to describe it. Really strange and exciting.
Yeah, exactly.
And again, this is all to benefit the Worcester County Food Bank, right?
Well, yes. Yeah, everything we do at the safari, is to go towards that. That's like kind of the big, I always try to remind people to remember the reason for the season, and we try to do everything for a good cause. If we're going to be out there partying and eating all these hot dogs, we really should be doing it for a good cause. So I think it doesn't get better than, the Worcester County Food Bank.
Absolutely. Yeah, nobody should be hungry anywhere, but especially here in the United States, you know, because we're supposedly the greatest country in the world. But if we have people worrying about where they're going to get their next meal, then you can't really say that for sure. So this is
and it's something everybody can get on board with. It's not. I don't know many people who don't believe that.
Right. I know. Yeah, exactly. Well, Tom, this is going to be amazing. So, again, it's one day only this year, August 13th. What time do we show up at Ralph's to get our scorecards?
Show up at 11 o'clock.
Okay.
And, you know, normally there's a line that kind of, you know, it's people filter through for about an hour, but right at 11, if you want, you know, to get your first chance to get a hat or a shirt. And this year we're going to be selling crew neck sweatshirts we're really excited about. So, you know, those things, our aim is to sell out. So, you know, it's good to get there right at 11 to make sure, you know, you got something to wear.
Right. And again, all that money goes to the food bank, so it's a really good cause. And then, you know, I suggest, you know, getting a group of friends together. This is fun to do with a group of friends. It's a great little road trip, you know, and you're maybe going to places you've never gone before. That's what I love about the Worcester Hot Dog Safari. You know, it sends me in directions I've never gone before, and I go to places I haven't checked out yet. So I'm really excited about that part. All right, Tom, thanks a lot so much, man. This is great. Is this the 11th Worcester Hot Dog Safari? Yeah, this is the 11th year, and we've never missed a year. You know, we've kind of survived through years of a pandemic and pure chaos, but we made it through those years, and we're really excited to keep going. Now, you guys have a Facebook page. Just search Worcester Hot Dog Safari. And what's the Instagram? The
Instagram's Worcester Hot Dog Safari as well. So, you know, it'll come up. I think once you see a few of the posts, you'll know you're in the right place. Yeah. It's pretty out there. So,
the videos are amazing. The videos every year are incredible. I got to tell you this, Tom, though, watching the videos, sometimes I can't get any information out of them because I'm so confused by the strangeness of it all. But they're so good. Who does the videos? Is that just you, or do you have
No, you know, we've always been doing it. We have, you know, because there's a bunch of us, and there's one family from Worcester, the O'Donnells, and Brian O'Donnell, he's always been like the editor. He makes, you know, he really pulls it all together, and we, you know, he's a part of the Woot and Annie comedy group with Sean Connolly in Worcester, and, you know, when you have all these creative guys in the same room, like, that's what accounts for the kind of off-the-walls video.
Oh, they're fantastic. They're great. So follow Worcester Hot Dog Safari on Instagram and Facebook, and then August 13th, get down to Ralph's, get your scorecard, buy a hat and a shirt, and get out there and chow down some wieners or hot dogs or whatever you want to call them. Tom, thanks again for the time, and thanks again for doing this, man. It's always a great time.
For sure. Thanks for coming. I'll see you.